As a teacher, I have to be aware of the diversity that exists in my classroom, especially because I teach music. I have to be aware, too, that our own musical culture has these really deep roots in Christianity, especially in Catholicism. That's where we get our harmony and foundations for our time signatures and rhythms and things like that. A lot of that comes from that Western European Christian tradition. Because of that, we deal with a lot of texts, especially in choral literature, that are faith-based, especially Christian. There are a lot of choral works that are just considered masterworks, but they're rooted in Christianity. Along with that, I'm a band person. In the band world, we play a lot of chorales, and a lot of the most well-known chorales are also based in Christianity. They were written by Bach for organ and then transcribed for band. Orchestra deals with it a lot, and we have a lot of these great orchestral works, a lot of great band works that are all rooted in the faith of our culture. Because of that, in music, I think there's this general tendency to just be like, oh, well, this is this great masterwork, you should learn it. But we don't always think about where the students are coming from. In my first teaching job, I taught band, but I also taught elementary music. And I had a student, a third grader, who was Muslim. And he was just like this just delightful ball of energy, little kid. And the other elementary music teacher and I had discussed creating a program centered around healthy eating and food groups and things like that. And we had the third graders scheduled to learn a song that included hot dogs in the text. And I don't really remember what the line is or anything like that, but we knew that that might be a concern for him. And so before we solidified the program, I asked him to come talk to me just one day when the class was cleaning up. And I said, hey, we have this song that we're probably going to have the third grade learn. It references hot dogs, and I know that that might be something that you're not comfortable with. I don't really know your own background behind that, but can you help fill me in? And he's like, oh, well, hot dogs aren't something that we normally eat. He's like, that's not on our list of foods that's okay for us. And I was like, well, can you tell me about how you would feel about singing this song? He's like, well, I don't really know. And I was like, okay, well, can you go home and talk to your mom about it and let's see what we can figure out? And he was like, yeah, sure. So he went home, talked to his parents about like what I had said about the song. I had sent him with a copy of the text so that he could show it to his parents and stuff. And when he came back, he was like, my mom says it's cool if I sing the song as long as I know what I believe. And he said it'll be fine. And I was like, well, that's cool. And it's like, if you want to step out of that song, you're welcome to step out if you want. If you want to just not sing that line, whatever is fine, we can make adjustments for you. And he's like, I think I'll be okay. And because we had talked about that, his class became aware more of his religious beliefs, and he was able to share some of those with his class in music. And it was just fascinating to see him like enjoy that little piece of spotlight where he could showcase a little bit about himself for his peers.